Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I'm here to talk about the latest episode of Star Trek Prodigy. It was called Masquerade. Before I get into the breakdown, I just want to say that if you've made it this far into the video, it would be really great if you stuck around a little bit longer. Even if you have to jump ahead a little bit and watch a couple of minutes of the middle of the video. Because when you bail right away, it really tanks my viewer retention numbers and it hurts the channel. So you're here, why not stay a bit? Okay, let's get into this episode breakdown. At the beginning, the protostar is dealing with a damaged protodrive from the attack by the Dauntless, and it has to make port to make repairs. OKANA is still with the crew, and he takes Dal, Gwyn, Rock, and Murph to see his client on a planet in the neutral zone before looking for parts, and his client, who's a geneticist, explains to Dal that he's one of a kind, the result of genetic manipulation on behalf of a Sung, which is interesting, based on human DNA combined with Vulcan and other races' DNA, but that he's just a basic model, as it were, and that she can upgrade him and activate latent traits in his DNA. And he's keen to get the upgrade because now he feels like a big nothing, having learned what he just learned, and after having watched the crew be sort of mesmerized by OKANA, who I guess is cooler than him, or so he perceives. Despite being assured by Gwen and the others that he doesn't need upgrading, he goes along with the upgrade anyway. Meanwhile, Janeway is forbidden by Starfleet from entering the neutral zone to retrieve the protostar by Admiral Jericho. So one of her ensigns volunteers to sneak in, at which point Janeway says that the Romulans are probably going to sneak in as well. The Romulans do, in fact, go to the protostar's location and infiltrate it, only to discover that they need the captain to unlock the command functions, at which point they ambush the crew down on the planet, causing Dal to activate his new augmentations, which was actually pretty cool because he kicked a bunch of Romulan ass. But then it got out of control and his physiology just kept changing. This was followed by a pretty cool sequence where they're riding a space elevator back up to the ship while being pursued by a Romulan strike team, which, by the way, looked massively cool, in another space elevator. The crew releases Murph from the ball they were carrying him in, and he jumps over to the other elevator and kicks the Romulans' asses. A lot of Romulan ass gets kicked in this episode. Having decided to enter the neutral zone anyway, Janeway finds and fires on the protostar in order to destroy it to keep it from getting into Romulan hands. But when she learns that the Romulans have been defeated by the crew, to her amazement, she orders the torpedoes to go in another direction, which is interesting because they actually accomplished this by onboard thrusters, which I don't think I was aware torpedoes could do, but that's pretty cool. With OKANA having departed their company when the Romulans showed up, the crew makes it back to the protostar and begins repairs. Murph is made security officer, and Zero and Rock manage to reverse the changes that were made to Dal before they become permanent. Aboard the Dauntless, we see that Janeway's ensign is actually a member of the diviner species, and that she's been masquerading as human by means of a physiology-altering augment similar to the one that Dal had, as part of her own mission back in time to find the protostar, and that she has installed a version of Dreadnought on the Dauntless, which is not good. So this was a really good episode for a number of reasons. It, first of all, uncovered a whole bunch of information about Dal, which we didn't know, and it ties him to the Sungs, which is crazy. And as it always is, the show is very sweet and had a lot of heart. And, once again, it addressed human foibles in the form of Dal falling prey to his sort of own self-doubt and low self-esteem, thinking that he needed to make changes to be important, when really he was fine just the way he was, which it was great to see the crew acknowledge in really endearing ways. And once again, it's full of great animation. I think these characters are fantastic, and I think the voice actors are terrific. So it's just a really good, cute, sweet show that's full of heart, that deals with the human condition as all great Star Trek does. And it's just a good show. I say the same things after every episode, because almost every episode, because it just is full of these things, and the episodes never fail to deliver on these core Star Trek concepts. and I think it's just a very lovely show. So, that's all there really is to say about it. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back to review the next episode once it's released. Until then, I wish you peace and long life.